may have the hardware, but not enough memory to run a high-end app. But yeah, I mean, there's virtually no hardware dependencies or no OS. So we think there's a ton of different types of really cool use cases, and at the end of the day, it's going to be what user experience does the developer want to deliver, right? So I go to a lot of conferences, and developers come up to me and said, "Gee, this is really cool. I've been wanting to do this. Could I use AllJoyn for that?" And you're like, "Wow, what a brilliant idea! I would have never thought of it, right?" And there's probably 5,000 ideas like that out there that aren't being delivered today because if the developer wants to write it, they got to fill that gap between the hardware and the app, which is all of the discovery and network management and security and all the other things they do. There's no real motivation for a developer to do that because even if I put in all the work, and we know it's a lot of work because we've had a bunch of people doing this for a long time, even if they could do it, so they have all the expertise in networking and security and all those things, one, if they had it. Two, they put all the people on it, how do they get scale? So I built all of this for my application, great. How do I get it on every platform so that people have it? Well, that's a huge investment to make limited scale, right? So then the choice would be, do I open source it? Do I give it to all my competitors? I just invested a bunch in this, why would I give it to my competitors, right? So there aren't a lot of applications because it's a lot of work to do, right? If you make it easy, and all they have to do is call the APIs, and AllJoyn manages all of that for them, so it does all the discovery and the data marshaling and message routing and sync and security. If it does everything for them, what you'll start to see is probably these 5,000 really cool ideas that nobody's developed. The goal is to see those apps come to market. This is everybody kind of knows Pac-Man, right? I'm old enough to have played it when I was a kid. You guys, I'm sure all know it, but they said, look, we have Pac-Man Kart, right? Think Mario Kart, whatever. But today in the mobile space, it's a me versus time, basically, right? Because to do a multiplayer version, I have to go out to a server, and the latency you can't do head-to-head. You can do turn play type games, but something like this doesn't work. So they basically took Pac-Man Kart and said, look, we'll integrate on top of AllJoyn. We want to do a multiplayer version. It took them essentially a week to add the peer-to-peer functionality because it was really integrating with the APIs is all they had to do. So if I want to set up a game, I'm with my buddies or whatever, and we only have 2 devices here. You could have 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever. I'm going to select, right? I'm already... Yeah, you can go ahead and select. It's already done, yeah. So now, at this stage, one of us is going to, the way this game is designed, be the host. So I'm going to connect to a game.
Right.
And so I'm waiting. So what's going on in the background now is the AllJoyn demons have discovered each other, they're communicating, and I'm saying, look, I'm looking for an instance of Pac-Man Kart. Is there one out there? So I'm searching for hosts. If you want to host a game, so now, go ahead and you can pick the... Done. I immediately see that your device is hosting a game. Now, there might be a list of games. Maybe I'm in a tournament, right? We're having a mobile Pac-Man Kart tournament, and I want to join session A, B, and C, and the winners kind of come together, right? So I go and then I say, okay, well, there's a version of this out there. We've discovered each other. I want to join that game. So now what's happening is the host and the client, these guys are actually establishing not just the discovery, but the network itself, right? So that it would be managed. So if you had 4, 5, 6, 7 devices, actually establishing the connection, what will happen then is when the network's set up, the host is saying, okay, everything's established. The game is ready to go, and it's up to you and whenever you want to launch it. So now that you did it, for steering, you have arrows on the left and right. Don't do this, don't do this. It's actually you steer by touching the arrows. Okay. And I just say that because most people are like, it doesn't turn, it doesn't turn.
Will this work over NFC in the future?
It's waiting to make sure all the players are here and we're there. Hold on a second, I'll come back to that. So what you'll see is if we're of similar experience, or whatever level, you'll see it's very much real time, right? I mean, you can see me, I can see you, and you couldn't do this really over cellular or through the web. So this is a type of, Namco was basically able to take and release a new version of an existing product back into the market with totally new functionality. So for them, and they did it basically in a week. The caveat is a week to integrate with AllJoyn. They actually had to put new menus in for multiplayer and stuff like that. That takes a little bit longer for the graphics and the artwork and stuff. But they were able to add the functionality within a week. So, it kind of speaks to the fact that if the framework is there and does it all, it's very easy now for any developer. And it's an open source site. You can go to alljoyn.org, you can review all the APIs, you can pull the SDKs, you can look at the code. Very simple APIs. So all of the complexity is really abstracted. Now, with regards to NFC, you asked, it is an app development framework. So today it supports Bluetooth and Wi-Fi from a transport perspective. Wi-Fi Direct will be available in the near future. You can plug any radio transport in that you want. You could use NFC. It's not quite clear to me why at this point, because as far as like a data exchange mechanism, I'm not sure that NFC is the best. A couple of people are talking about using it as authentication. So if you develop an application where you want security and authentication, you might use NFC for that portion of it. Thank you. You're welcome, guys. It's really up to, hey guys, was this, no? Did you want it or not? I don't know. You could develop NFC if you wanted to. Realistically, it's an open source project, and we're trying to develop all the key fundamental functionality. If somebody wants to develop a new transport, they can plug in a new transport, contribute it back to the project, develop it, contribute back to the project, and roll it out. The same with Discovery. We use Bluetooth Discovery for Bluetooth or multicast NDS, basically for TCP/IP. There's nothing technically that prevents you from using, Bonjour or UPnP Discovery or the Discovery mechanisms. They would be plugged into the framework. They're not part of it today.
You mentioned Wi-Fi Direct. Does that mean you don't need to be connected to a router and to devices can directly talk to each other using the Wi-Fi, or?
Yeah, I mean, you can have basically Wi-Fi Direct. The device acts as the AP, and you do device and service discovery over the soft AP essentially. So. Yeah, and there's nothing, I mean, those are the transports today. If there's future transports, they'll kind of roll in as well. So if something other than Wi-Fi Direct or NFC comes along.
Very cool.
It's really about solving the problems between the hardware and the app, right? If you want to write that peer-to-peer networking application today, it's really tough. You got to do a lot of work. AllJoyn brings that there and simplifies it for developers. And then the fun thing is, write whatever app you want. We don't care, right? We're just enabling it. Go be creative. Come up with new user experiences and write applications that people find interesting and fun.
Very good. Thank you very much.